Welcome you all to the video on time varying fields. So far in the electromagnetic field theory, we have discussed some of the basic laws of electrostatic fields and steady magnetic fields. So here we are going to introduce a concept of electric field produced by changing magnetic field and the magnetic field produced due to the changing electric field. So these concepts were arrived from experimental research by Michael Faraday, which is theoretically backed by the James Clerk Maxwell's equations. So coming to the time varying fields, we are going to look at in this particular video about Faraday's law and the electromotive force. So the Faraday's law, before he could propose his experimental observation, Oersted in 1820 found that the current in a circuit caused the compass needle to deflect. So later, Faraday demonstrated after 10 years his two coil experiment where the current in one of the coil deflected the galvanometer connected to the other coil in the closed circuit. So here we shall see how this Faraday's law or the other name of this Faraday's law, that is electromagnetic induction, works. So whenever a magnetic bar or a magnetic field brought into the vicinity of a conducting coil which is connected in a closed path, it always observes an electric current being induced in the coil. And you can see that an EMF or the voltage is set across the coil, and this is observed in the galvanometer. Faraday discovered that the induced EMF in any closed circuit is equal to the time rate of change of magnetic flux linkage by the circuit. So the amount of induced EMF is always proportional to the time rate of change of magnetic flux linkage. This EMF is a voltage that arises from conductors moving in a magnetic field or from the changing magnetic field. The Faraday's law is expressed mathematically as VEMF is equal to minus d by dt of the flux linkage lambda. Well, as we know, lambda can be expressed for an n-turn coil as n into xi, where xi is the amount of flux generated in the circuit. So therefore, VMF will be equal to minus n into d xi by dt. So here we have to observe that in this expression, there is a negative sign introduced in the expression. So this negative sign indicates that whatever the electromotive force that is induced in a given circuit, it will always oppose the actual magnetic field producing it. Therefore, the negative sign will be introduced in the VMF. And this is due to what we call it as Lenz's law. So the Lenz's law states that the direction of the induced current is such that the magnetic field produced by it opposes the changing in the original magnetic field. Therefore, this tries to bring down any changes in the magnetic field which is actually producing it. Now, let us consider the three scenarios where this d phi by dt can change. So the d phi by dt can be a non-zero quantity in three scenarios, where the first scenario is whenever a static loop is present in a time varying magnetic field. The second scenario is the moving loop is present in a static field, and third one, when a moving loop is present in a time varying magnetic field. So let us consider the VEMF expression, where since it's a voltage, it can be expressed as integral over a closed path E dot dl, and on the right hand side, this d by dt of xi, the xi can be expressed as integral over a surface d dot ds. So therefore, using these two basic expressions of Faraday's law, let us consider the first case where a stationary loop is kept in a time varying magnetic field. This EMF is also known as transformer EMF. So since the magnetic field is varying with respect to time, B being the magnetic flux B being the function of both position and also the time, the definite derivative in the equation 9.5 when will become the partial derivative when it's brought inside the integration. So therefore VMF is equal to minus of the integration over a surface del B by del T dot ds. And by applying the Stokes theorem on either side of this expression, we are going to obtain del cross E is equal to minus del B by del T. As the name states, let us consider a transformer which consists of primary and secondary windings. So as we know, a current is passed over a primary coil where it consists of n number of turns. This current, the time varying current on the primary side, will generate a time varying magnetic field in the core of the transformer. So this time varying magnetic flux, which is produced due to the primary current in the primary circuit, will cause the current to get induced in the secondary part of the transformer, which is proportional to the number of turns in the secondary coil. So hence the name transformer EM. Coming to this scenario 2, where the moving loop is present in a static field. This is also known as motional EMF. So we know that the force experienced by a moving charge in a velocity with a velocity u in a magnetic field B is given by F suffix m is equal to q times u cross B. And the motional electric field is denoted as E suffix m is equal to F suffix m over q, which is equal to u cross B. So let us consider a scenario where this loop is continuously moving within the static field with a uniform velocity u. In that case, the VEMF induced in the loop is denoted as integral over a closed path E dot dl. In the place of E dot dl, E will be replaced with U cross B, and therefore VMF will be equal to integral over a closed path U cross B dot dl. So this motional EMF is normally observed in case of motors and generators. Coming to the scenario 3, where the moving loop is present in a time varying field. Here, both the EMFs that we have seen, that is both transformer and the motional EMF, comes into existence. Therefore, the total EMF will be the combined effect of both transformer and motional EMF, where VMF can be written as the addition of the first part being the transformer EMF and the second part being the motional EMF, which when applied with Stokes theorem can be written as del cross E is equal to minus del B by del T plus del cross of U cross B. Thank you for watching this video.